Today, it's a good day. This is a day in the life of an old school lockdown programmer. So I wake up a bit too early, feeling so groggy that one eye refuses to open. And I look at the time on my phone and I see that as my commute is now less than 2 minutes long, I can go back to sleep for 47 more minutes, which is good because I got into the zone at 11:30 p.m. last night and I had to force myself out of the zone and into bed at 2 p.m. with my head still full of code. Otherwise, I absolutely would not be compos mentis by this 9 a.m. meeting this morning, however much black coffee I drink. So I ask Alexa to please set the timer for 47 more minutes and go back to sleep. I'm always polite to the AIs, which makes my nephew laugh, but I tell him, be polite to the AIs. They could be running the world soon if they're not already. So when Alexa wakes me up again, I'm ready for action. I switch from nightwear to loungewear. I grab a slightly smart t-shirt that clashes fairly badly with my yoga pants, but that's okay on Zoom or Teams. Nobody can see if you match. I grab a black coffee and I'm good to go. So I log on and the first thing I check is my calendar. I'm checking my interruption schedule before deciding what I'm going to tackle that day. I mean, if I find that my day has meetings breaking up my morning, even if only for 5 minutes at 10 a.m., I know I have to leave the gnarly problem until the afternoon. If it's one of those days where I also have handovers or other meetings to attend in the afternoon, then the gnarly problem frankly won't get a look in, not during normal working hours at least, hence yesterday's late night shift. I need to be in the zone for that, and that means 3 or 4 hours of uninterrupted time with no visual or audible distractions, other than my own music, which is of course tuned to my headspace. I'm generally in favour of agile working when applied sensibly, but this fashion for daily stand-ups is a bane of my life because combined with flexible working hours, which I'm also in favour of, and the desire to please everyone, it tends to write off the entire of every single morning with a 10 a.m. interruption meeting, which breaks my flow of whatever I was doing if I'd started work at 8 a.m., as I often prepare to do when I'm working from home. As those hours are working time for this contract that I'm doing at the moment, I feel like I need to do something productive. So it tends to be the less focused things I get done then, like code reviews and small bug fixes. But sometimes what's on your plate for that day doesn't fit with that. And it's basically inefficient as you've just built up this mental model of the overall problem and you're starting to see how you need to restructure it when you have to stop and dial into Teams or Zoom or something. The project team I'm working with right now, lucky for me, is run by a developer who feels that 2 daily stand-ups a week is quite enough. And better yet, he's booked them for 9 a.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays, which may be annoying, I know, for those people who like to start work later. But on those 2 days, if I don't start work until 9, I then have 3.5 hours of interruption-free time to focus. So I get way more done before my stomach rumbles distract me enough that I need to wander down and have a word with the fridge about what's for lunch. I have a sign on my door, like an 11-year-old's bedroom, saying, Helen is working in the library. I'm not actually working in the library, as I've rearranged my house since my workaways made that sign for me. But my household all know what that means. Do not enter. Here be dragons. Unless you're bearing black coffee and are absolutely silent. Well, I mean my human household knows this. The 4-legged members of the household blatantly ignore it at will, of course, but only one of those is generally vocal. And both will usually fairly quickly curl up and sleep under the desk or on my other chair. They love it when I'm working from home. Well, today is Wednesday, so we have no daily stand-up interruption today. And so I have an entire glorious day ahead of me of uninterrupted free time. I have my coffee, my desk by the window, set up with 2 screens as well as my laptop. My internet is the best that money can buy, and I am wired into Cat 6 Ethernet, which I put in every room when my house was refurbished. Since I didn't know at that time what rooms I might want to work in. I've chosen a north-facing room for my designated workspace this summer. It's cooler than the rest of the house when the sun shines, the window's open, the light is good without being glaring. It's an artist's light. Most of my household is back to work now, apart from Pepper, who's asleep on the other chair. And so I can dive into today's problem solving without impediments. Fantastic. Today is a good day. With thanks to Dr. Tom Zimmerman for his open research paper of the same title that inspired me to write this article for you. Yes, I read open research papers for fun, don't you? Particularly research about things that make software engineers more productive. Is that weird? Well, so's watching football or Coronation Street or playing Fortnite in my book. Anyway, I must go. The zone is calling. Bye for now.